Hello everyone. Mic check. Can you hear me well?
Hello, hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. I can hear you well as well. Let's maybe wait a couple of minutes until some more people join, and then we can kick off the space. All right. Welcome everyone. Great to see all of you. Jonah, I can see you twice. Let's check again maybe if you can also take the mic.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Amazing.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining. Super happy to run the space today with you. Quick intro. My name is Zuz. I am the ecosystem manager at Safe, and today we're going to talk about SafePass, which is a point program that Safe is running together with other partners from our ecosystem. And today we are hosting the space together with OnChain Dan, who is one of our key builders. So Jonah, maybe you would like to take a moment to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Zeus. Really happy to be here. Appreciate you hosting me and the team. Um, Hi, everyone. My name's Jonah. I'm one of the co-founders of Den. Den is the fastest multi-sig for on-chain teams powered by Safe. What that means is when you sign into Den, your existing safes are available by default, and we have specifically focused our user experience on the problems that on-chain teams face when they're operating on-chain using Safe's Safe Foundation as a basis for that.
Okay, amazing. I'm actually looking forward to dig deeper into what is possible with on-chain then. Before we do that, though, a quick reminder on the SafePass, which is a program that we created to reward loyal and active Safe users on Ethereum mainnet for this season. And you can earn points by actively using your Safe account. The first season that we're running right now is currently taking place, and it lasts until end of October this year. And in terms of the points, there are different ways of how you can accumulate them. First of all, through transacting with your Safe account on a weekly basis, based on the volume of your transactions, based on the numbers of the transactions that you're making with your Safe account, also through leveraging the interfaces of products like OnChain then. And lastly, we're also looking at the total value of the assets stored in your Safe account. For more information, you can go to pass.safe.global and read through all the content there. There's also an FAQ available on the website. And this week, from Monday until Sunday, we have a special campaign with Den. And during this week, users that are interacting with them, with their Safe accounts, will earn double points on the activities that I just mentioned. So that's it from my side about the SafePass. And now I would love to hear more about Den. Jonah, if you could tell us more about what is really exciting about Den, still before we go into your recent updates, maybe. Why should our listeners just go straight away to onchaindan.com and start interacting with the interface?
Great question, Zeus. So the reason folks should start interacting with Den is there's a lot that we've done to understand and work on the specific user experience problems that teams have operating on chain. And those problems are everything from understanding what's happening in a transaction. Does this transaction do what I actually want it to do? Who am I sending funds to? Why is this transaction happening? And we've done a lot around both creating transactions and signing transactions to help with this, such as a global shared address book that all of your signers have access to, such as descriptions and file uploads explaining transactions, such as decoding for complex and common types of transactions as well. We also help with a lot of the challenges around specific transactions. Den makes it very easy to swap, to bridge, to off-ramp, or even make fiat payments to third parties. Den makes it really, really straightforward if you want to be doing your on-chain bookkeeping and financial insights. If you want to make sure your signers are signing on time, which is one of the largest problems we hear from folks, Den offers notifications in the places you already work, Discord, Slack, Telegram. There's a million other little things that all builds up to a full stack back office tool for on-chain teams.
Could you maybe mention some of the teams that are using them? Because I imagine you have some names that might be known in the community as well.
Totally, totally. So we have over 400 teams actively using Den every month. Some of those teams include Lido, Alchemix, Dinero, and a bunch of other DeFi protocols, non-protocol teams, non-DeFi but protocol teams across the space that are using Den. We recently crossed the $1 billion transaction threshold, and we're just moving faster.
That's amazing. It's a really, really impressive result. And actually, I'm super happy that you're providing more of an Web 2 or Web 2.5 experience for the users, because we all know that even if we're proficient with just interacting with different networks, it's very easy to get lost and things get very confusing very quickly. So also from what I hear, you actually really focus on the user problems, user research, and provide solutions that are actually solving the real life problems of everyday people, everyday teams that want to have a smoother experience. Like I, for example, really like the feature with the notifications where you can ping your teammates individually, you know, to provide a signature to push something through. But having this automated way of just like pinging people who still haven't signed is a really cool solution. Can you maybe tell me a bit more about why did you decide to use smart accounts in your infrastructure, and also how are you leveraging safe smart accounts? And you're most welcome to go here into the technical details. You can also just talk about the general idea and the benefits that you have when using safe in your infra.
Totally. It's a great question. And I think it goes back to our core philosophy at Den of really listening to the customer, understanding their needs. And when we started Den, we took that same approach. And what we understood was almost every team was using Safe on chain and was using smart accounts on chain because that is the best way for on chain teams to operate securely. And so we were talking to all of these on-chain teams, and they said they were already using Safe, and we're like, great, let's use this excellent foundation that Safe has built and customize the UI for this very specific target user set of on-chain teams. And it really came a lot less from, us thinking about, hey, like what's the ideal structure for what the world looks like, although we do some of that. It was more of understanding, hey, who are our users? What are the sorts of challenges that they're facing? And how do we solve those challenges? And it very, very quickly became obvious that a smart account was the only thing that both in the short term and the long term made sense for on-chain teams. In today's world, the multi-signature mechanism is the gold standard for securing assets for on-chain organizations. And in the future, we'd like to move towards a world where these smart accounts are much more complicated with things like modules and guards to be able to scale these on-chain teams further.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always the biggest fan of teams creating new modules on top of the underlying contracts, because basically the possibilities are endless. You're talking about different teams using their safe accounts, kind of like the starting point for your idea. Could you maybe actually guide us through the user flow? Like I'm a new user. Maybe I already have a safe with my team. Maybe I don't. What is the experience I get when using on-chain Den?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Great question, Zeus. So for the new user flow, what a new user is going to experience is they're going to go to app.onchainen.com. You can also find in the Den bio, which is quoted in my Twitter bio, a link to the website. You can get to the app. You're going to get there and you're going to sign in with the wallet that you use to sign your multi-sigs. And once you sign in, you'll automatically see a list of all of the different multi-sigs that you're a signer on across all of the 8 chains that Den supports. And you'll see these safes with their addresses. And if they have a label in the address book, you'll see those labels. If not, you'll be able to add those labels yourself. And when new signers go to sign transactions in Den, they will see the address book labels that you've added. From there, what we find is the best next step is to select the safes that you have that are the most active, click on the notification icon, and then set up notifications. And what this does is it creates a consistent process where whenever there's a new transaction, everyone on your team, whether that's in Telegram, in Slack, or in Discord, will automatically see, hey, there's a new transaction that I need to sign. It's on this safe, on this network. There's a human readable description from the person that created the transaction. And then all you need to do is click a button to open up the page to sign that transaction.
Sounds super smooth. I'm actually curious, do you know how many teams are using the notification feature that you have set in place?
Not off the top of my head, but it's something I could check and get back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do know it's in the scale of several hundred.
Okay, amazing. I think like really listening to the users is the key to bringing the best experience on chain, because sometimes we're too focused on our own concepts on where things should be going, while the users are the ones usually clearly telling us what they need. You mentioned that Den is deployed on multiple networks. I think it's a good moment to talk a little bit about your latest feature, which is the token bridging that you developed together with Li-Fi.
Definitely. And thanks for highlighting that, Zeus. So one thing we found from our user research is that one of the biggest challenges that teams using Safe have is bridging cross-chain from one safe to another safe, or from one safe to an EOA on that chain. And there are a lot of problems with this for a variety of reasons. Some bridges just don't support multi-sigs. It can be challenging to connect to a bridge with Wallet Connect. There's a lot of steps. Maybe the connection isn't working properly. It's also a challenge to make sure that you're sending the tokens to the right address, because often a safe only exists at the same address on one chain. And by default, most bridges send to the same address, where you typically when you're using a safe, want to send to a different address. So we collaborated with the Li-Fi team to build a super smooth, natively integrated experience where instead of going to Den, clicking Wallet Connect, figuring out, all right, where should I go to bridge, finding that bridge, creating the transaction, yada, 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 we have directly integrated click new transaction, bridge tokens, configure what you want to bridge, and sign that transaction. And along with that, the rest of your signers will have a full human readable decoding instead of seeing this complex function call where you're not really sure what's going on. You're going to see, hey, I'm bridging 100 USDC from Optimism to Base. And we took every part of that experience and said, what is frustrating, what is slow, what is scary, and made it smooth and easy and comforting.
And is it already live? Can anyone just go to OnChainDen right now and try it out?
It is live. Anyone in the world can go sign into Den right now and start bridging.
Okay, amazing. Then I would encourage everyone to at least have a look. I've seen the demos you shared, and they look amazing. Super simple, super straightforward. So I think this feature will get some appreciation and some activity from your users. Tell me, what is next for Den? What's coming up? What are you planning? Which direction are you heading? What is your key focus for the next weeks or for the next months? Are you planning on going to Asia? Will people be able to meet you somewhere at some of the events?
Great question. So we will not be at any of the events in Asia, but if any folks are going to be at MCon in Detroit, I'll be there representing the Den team. We'll be speaking on a panel with Rehash that Saturday of the conference. And in terms of what's next for Den, we're going to be spending a lot of time over the next few weeks on a lot of the little details. At Den, we're constantly shipping these big new features, but we're also constantly sanding things over and saying, hey, what are the little things that make this experience frustrating or challenging or scary? We often find that things feeling bad is just as bad or worse than not being able to do something. So no alpha to leak today on some of the big things coming up, but you're going to see a lot of exciting changes in Den over the next few weeks on smoothing out a lot of our existing features. And one thing I want to say just to everyone in the audience, whether it's a small feature request, maybe you don't like the color of a button or where it's placed on the page, or it's a big feature request, like you want Den to go, I don't even know what to put in there without being too bold, but anything large, we want to hear it from you. Everything we built on at Den is based on the feedback from folks like yourself. Every week, we will document all of the feedback we get from all corners, and then as a team, step through every conversation individually to quantify and document every tiny piece of feedback. So the more you send us, the faster we're going to build the things that you want.
Love it. This is the question I was planning to ask you. I see we are the team user research, user feedback. Where can your users submit the feedback? Can they find it? Can they find the button somewhere in the docs? Can they find it somewhere on the website?
Great question. There's a variety of ways to submit feedback. You can always DM myself, or you can DM the Den account on Twitter. Our DMs are open. We're very responsive to that sort of thing. There is also a small chat box in the bottom right corner of Den where you can also ping us as well if you have any questions or issues. So wherever you are in the application, we're there to provide support and take feature requests.
Okay, super clear. Before we close off the space today, a closing question. What are the biggest challenges in Web3 right now? What are the challenges that the Web3 space is facing? And what should we all really focus on in the next 3 to 6 months, in your opinion?
This is a really great question, Zeus, and I have a really hot take here that's kind of controversial. And what my take is that there's a bifurcation in the industry, and there's kind of two parallel things happening. And I think before talking about those parallel things, I kind of wanted to set the scene for how those parallel worlds see what's happening on chain today. And I think what you hear a lot in the news, from Twitter, public sentiment, is markets are down, prices are down, nothing's happening, there's no hot new trend, and it's just things aren't working, and we're just holding out for the next bull market. On the other side, you see things that are working and specific products and projects that are finding real product market fits, like Safe, like Dens, like Polymarket, like Blackbird. And what I see differently from folks on the latter side, the more optimistic side, versus the pessimistic side, is they're really focused on users, they're focused on product market fit, they're focused on ignoring price action and building something that people want. And what I would encourage everyone to do is to lean towards that optimism side and lean towards the side of, hey, we're reaching this product market fit. Let's continue building things that people want. And let's not let the pessimism of token prices bring us down. I have the controversial take is that we're at the end of the crypto cycles that we've seen in the past, and now we're just on the slow march to adoption. And that means it's not going to be crazy bull markets like it was in the past. So there'll be ups and downs, but not crazy bull markets. And I think the best thing we can do is stay heads down, keep building, and figure out what are the actual problems that users have and go solve those.
Yeah, this is definitely something many people are talking about right now. And well, your point is very, very fair because if you look at different developments historically, bear markets are actually the moments, even in the Web2 world, not necessarily only in crypto. These are the times when the best projects are actually taking the time to think and to figure out which direction they want to take, what they want to build. They take the time to collaborate and come up with the new solutions to be ready for that uplift in the market, or actually to build a resilience which can then continue over time, as you said, on this more stable path in the long term without a crazy roller coaster of the bear and bull markets. So thank you for this comment. I think it's super interesting. Is there anything else you would like to talk about? Is there anything you would like to mention? You would like to shill as well from your side?
Off the top of my head, just thanks for having me, Zeus, and thanks for having the team and collaborating. I would definitely encourage everyone that if you have some reason to collaborate with Safe, they're really excellent partners, incredibly supportive, incredible purveyors of public goods, and it's just been really excellent to work with them. And yeah, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, Jonah. It really means a lot. It's always a pleasure to work together. Anyone in the audience, if you have questions, feel free to add a comment, to request to speak, so we can wait a short moment to see if anyone would like to ask about something or add a comment from their side. All right. I think there are no questions. So thank you so much for joining, Jonah. Everyone, I really encourage you to go check out OnChain if you haven't used it before. It's always a great opportunity to claim some points in the SafePass app, and also discover the new features that the team has just deployed with the token bridging. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we hear you back soon in a short amount of time with our next campaign.
Thanks again, Zeus and team. See you all soon.
Bye, everyone.